Van Exel, you go down the line, we've done a pretty good job of bringing guys like that into the fold, having them buy in. You know, I think Raven's been through some tough times. He's it's no secret that, you know, he made a mistake and he wished he would have had that back. It's no mistake that it's no secret rather that you know, he's kind of gone through some difficult times in New York, and so I think the cards are, and if history holds true, and we certainly have the kind of locker room that has done good with those kind of players in the past. I think and I hope that you know, that Raven will follow suit, you know, with some of the other players that we've dealt with in the same way. I do know he's a good person. He's got a big heart. We certainly did our homework, and we feel that, you know, it's in the cards for him to have that kind of a year.
There's a lot of talk about continuity at the end of the season. How do you balance that? How tough is it to balance that with the desire to get better, with also the desire for continued continuity?
Yeah, continuity was important, and I think, again, that's a vote towards Tyson because he's comfortable with our system. It's hard to give up those four guys. It just is. They've been a fabric of the success we've had this last year. And those decisions are always tough. You know, talking to Jose, it's in Spain, you know, it's just gracious and humble, and Shane, you go right down the list. You know, Sam, big heart, and Wayne. I mean, Wayne's the kind of guy you really want your daughter to marry. I mean, those are very special and terrific young men. But you know, again, the price that we thought was fair for Tyson, and to get him back, and his familiarity with the system, his familiarity with Rick, our city, Dirk, you go right down the line, our kind of guy in the locker room, plus the flexibility we have in the here and now, the flexibility we have in the future, is the reason that we couldn't say no to that deal. And again, it's you know, whether we decide to go the star route or go the good old-fashioned building position by position, I think we're well positioned to do that because you know, Tyson again provides you an anchor defensively in character, and a guy that can, you know, cover for defensive weaknesses and whatnot. So and then certainly next year we have the opportunity to go out there and be active again at a very high level of free agency. So it's really got the makings of, you know, some really special stuff. The one move solved a lot of problems for us, you know, because we did have, we were top heavy on some of the contractual things going in the future, and so it cleaned up some of those. It made us, you know, attractive destination in the here and now, and also next year.
The four guys that you let go all came last summer. Did perhaps we or people outside undervalue what you guys did, allowing you now to make more aggressive moves?
You know, every summer is different. I mean, the last two summers, you know, the guy that gets the short end of the stick is our head coach, because he's got, you know, what do you have, 8 players this last year and 9 the year before, and so he's the guy that's got to take all the ingredients and make sweet music out of it. And he's done a masterful and terrific job, but it's a hard job. I mean, it's difficult to get guys, put them in positions, get them to buy in. That takes a period of time. It's not the ideal way that we want to do things. Continuity is important, but we also understand that star power is extremely important, and especially at the center position. Defensive star power in this instance. And so we felt that, you know, the lack of continuity over the last couple of years isn't something that, you know, we want to it's not something we want to embrace over the course of the next 5 years, but a chance to get a player like Tyson, we felt that it was just you know, too good to pass up.
How does this change your approach to the draft tonight, since both second rounders were obviously used in the field?
Sure, you know, 34 and 51 were required. You know, obviously the Knicks didn't have a first or second round pick, so those were things that they were very interested in. You know, it changes it in that, you know, we'll treat the draft just like we always do. We'll be prepared if there's a right situation. We're not afraid to squeeze the trigger and look back. For us to get into the first round, it's going to really have to make sense, because first round picks go against your cap. And starting July 1, every penny's going to count. So for us to do something in the first round, I would call 99.9%, unless something just great drops itself in our lap, our draft will start with 31. We'll start in the second round. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get those high 30 picks. So we'll, you know, we've got some contingency plans in place, and if the right player falls, we're not afraid to pull the trigger and look back. But it's going to have to be the right situation. We do have some flexibility. We have a future Memphis pick that's attractive to some teams, 2016 pick. Certainly we have our own seconds going forward. You know, don't look us to mess around with any of our firsts. But if there's some guy that falls, you know, into the mid-30s and, you know, we like him, we're not afraid to put, you know, a future, you know, second round pick on the table.
Were you pleasantly surprised that you were able to get Tyson and not take much of a hit out of your cap space this year and actually improve your cap situation moving forward after this season?
A big consideration of this trade was the flexibility moving forward. You know, for as much as, you know, Jose brought to the Mavericks on the floor, 7 times 4 is a significant number, and you know, flexibility going forward, especially when you're talking about maybe putting yourself in a position to go get those max players. Jose is a lot of things, terrific young player, but you know, he's not in that same category. So yes, that was a consideration, and a part of this trade was us gaining maximum flexibility in the here and now, and also gaining maximum flexibility in the future.